deceit, scam, setup, sham, con, deception, fake, fiction, cheat, trickery. All of these things are used to create and maintain a slave mentality amongst our people. And as long as the slave mentality is maintained, we will continue to be a benefit instead of a burden to a European-dominated society. Many of us claim to find fulfillment into benefiting a European-dominated society. However, the keys to success and prosperity in a society such as America reside in deception, murder, and trickery. We are psychologically conditioned to forget about this. We're also conditioned to ignore the present day inequalities, as well as the injustices and other dirt that goes on. Thus, we surrender our souls to assimilation, which limits us but benefits them. Assimilation into European culture, morals, and overall ideology helps us become their helper instead of their enemy. Slaves without chains, so to speak. I should say slaves with invisible chains. Unfortunately, religion is one of those chains. The religion of every other people on earth taught its believers of a God whom which they could identify, a God who at least looked like one of their own kind. The slave master injected his Christian religion into this Negro. This Negro was taught to worship an alien God having the same blonde hair, pale skin, and blue eyes as the slave master. This religion taught the Negro that black was a curse. It taught him to hate everything black, including himself. It taught him that everything white was good to be admired, respected, and loved. It brainwashed this Negro to think that he was superior if his complexion showed more of the white pollution of the slave master. This white man's Christian religion further deceived and brainwashed this Negro to always turn the other cheek and grin and scrape and bow and humble and to sing and to pray and to take whatever was dished out by the devilish white man and to look for his pie in the sky and for his heaven and the hereafter, while right here on earth the slave master white man enjoyed his heaven. These are not my words. The invisible chains didn't really start with religion, however. It really started with erasing and jacking up our history. Jacking up our history. Jacking up our history. Baby, trying to hide the history. They know who we are. History had been whitened in the white man's history books, and the black man had been brainwashed for hundreds of years. The original man was black in a continent called Africa, where the human race had first emerged on the planet Earth. The black man, original man, built great empires and civilizations and cultures, while the white man was still living on all fours in caves. The devil white man cut these black people off from all knowledge of their own kind, and cut them off from any knowledge of their own language, religion, and past culture, until the black man in America was the earth's only race of people who had absolutely no knowledge of his true identity. In one generation, the black slave woman in America had been raped by the slave master white man until there had begun to emerge a homemade, handmade, brainwashed race that was no longer even its true color and no longer even knew its true family name. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know that you are a race of people of ancient civilizations and riches and gold and kings. You don't even know your true family name. You wouldn't recognize your true language if you heard it. You have been cut off by the devil white man from all true knowledge of your own kind. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Book be so good I say blah blah blah. If you thought those words were interesting, you should definitely read this book. This book is deep. When I say deep, I mean deep, 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 deep. This book gives evidence that there was African presence in the Americas before Christ was ever born. The fact of the matter is, African ships were way more advanced than that of the Europeans. Imagine that. African presence over here. There was trade, there was sex, there was socializing, there was influence, there was teaching. There was a lot going on. This is before Columbus was ever thought of, born. And we don't learn that in school. We're taught that Columbus discovered America. And the black people were swinging from trees and jungles until the white man rescued us and brought us over to this great place so we can have some opportunity. I want you to open your mind to see who we really were and are still today. Did you know that doctors in the great civilization of Mali were removing cataracts as early as the 1300s? Better than any doctors in the known world, Asian, Arab, or European. We had a lot of great things going on. And all that stuff was erased and replaced with whatever subculture that the black people have today.